The hits just keep on hitting, guys. Silver is up 0.69%. Gold is up 0.81%. Now, if you know anything about these assets, when they move to this level, that's a pretty good day. Now, in today's episode, we're going to be focusing on silver, where we are, where we can go, and we're going to be focusing on one of the major inputs that influences silver prices, which actually happens to be its sister precious metal, gold. And we're going to be going over some technicals. We're going to be going over my monthly silver price forecasting model. And we're going to be using a call that I'll be reading this from this article that a silver company or precious metals company made pretty wild call on gold and what that effect would be on silver using my model. And things look pretty positive on that end. So if you want to see what that number is, if you want to see where we could possibly be with the silver price, definitely hit that subscribe button down below. Lock into this episode. We are going to be talking about some of our favorite assets, precious metals. So let's start here with the technical analysis, as we often like to do. So here we have the Fibonacci levels here, and we have a trend line, and we've been monitoring this trend line in Fibonacci for a while now. And as you can see, we got close to that resistance level, came down a bit, and it looks like we're chugging back up again, which is good, showing some positive momentum as we are a bit off of that trend line in this most recent run. In the last run, we kind of got up, but then slowly trailed back to touching the trend line when we, kind of lost some steam. But now we're firmly back up again, bouncing off of this trend line, which is showing some bullishness. In addition to that, if you scroll down to the MACD, which actually happens to be one of my favorite technical indicators because it just displays so much visually, we are heading back into positive territory with these moving averages, and the histogram is also showing some extreme bullishness with these green within the histogram with these green bar charts. Just take a look at the last time we had some bullishness here. It was kind of okay, kind of ran up a little bit, but then slowly went away. But then immediately after that, the lows didn't last too long. And currently our positive bull run is lasting longer than the last bear run. So again, these are good signs. Now, yesterday I was talking a bit about the moving averages. And as you can see here, this is the 20, this is the 60, and this is the 250. The 20 is about to cross into the over the 60 day. So again, more positive momentum here for silver. Now, I told you guys that we're going to be looking at one of the main inputs that are impacting silver prices to the upside, and that is the performance of gold. Yes, gold, the asset that people have long forgotten about because they want to jump into Bitcoin. And again, nothing wrong with Bitcoin, but my thing is you can't discount an asset that's been around for millennia. Now, here's the thing. Gold has been moving pretty positively, but not as strongly as silver. But it doesn't matter because the effect that's been having on silver has been immense. Now, it's been kind of jumping up and down here, touching the trend line, not as strong off of the trend line as silver. But again, it's crossed over a major level of resistance, which is around that $1,800 level, and it's crossing above. And 1830 here on Fibonacci is around 1825, but 1830 is a number that a lot of analysts are keying in on for the next major level of resistance for gold. But as you can see down here, gold is having a nice swoop up here in the MACD and edging up into positive territory here with the moving averages. And I'm expecting to see some additional strong movement here. Now, gold isn't just the only asset that impacts silver to the upside. Another asset that does is actually, believe it or not, Bitcoin. And Bitcoin fell a bit and over the last few days, but it's kind of holding its own today with a nice strong candlestick there. Volume is a bit low, but we're still in the beginning of the day, so we'll see how things turn out. But here's the positive thing here. We're seeing some negative territory within the histogram on the MACD, but we're still in general pretty strong positive territory for Bitcoin. Now, with that being said, the momentum here may still lie with Bitcoin, which again would be a positive for silver prices. Now, I'll show you with my model why this is why it impacts silver positively. But if we take a look down here, this is actually Google Trends, and I compared silver price as a search term with Bitcoin price as a search term, and check out where we have been as far as search term volume has been concerned. As you can see here, over the course of the last few days, there has been a lot more attention on Bitcoin as it's been going up over silver. However, that's not necessarily a bad thing. To me, that's actually a positive thing. As we see more and more attention flow into Bitcoin, we should see more and more attention flow into silver. Now, you can't really see it too well, but on October 21st, we had some pretty strong volume with silver price as a search term than we had over the past few days. If you take a look at where the silver price search term was before, it hit highs of about 11, but recently it's been around like 8, 9, 10, 11. Then we hit 14. So again, Bitcoin does have a positive impact on silver. Now, here's my model that I want to show you guys. And this is where my forecast is basically saying we should be. Generally, I will say we should be around the mid 20s, which is what I've been saying over the course of the last several episodes, based on the inputs that we have today. So today, let's go and take a look at what the inputs are here for my model. So if we go back, CPI is at 274.138. It's a monthly release, so that's why that's there. U.S. 10-year Treasury note yield is at currently negative 0.96. Gold price is around 1808. SLV volume, I predict, will be around 450 million by the end of October. SLV volume, I should say. And dollar futures currently are at 93.83. Bitcoin is currently at 63,000 or so. And of course, it oscillates pretty aggressively throughout the day. And that will lead us to around $26.16 as a forecast. Now, moving to this article where I will then input one of the calls that this silver company has made, or this precious metals company has made for the gold price. Now, this article says gold's inflation haven appeal means violent run-up may be ahead. So let's see exactly what is being talked about in this article. Now, this was released on Friday. Take a look at this graph before we head into the article. Inflation woes, gold heads for second weekly advance. And there is that second weekly advance here in October. So let's scroll down and see what's going on here. Bloomberg, one after another commodities from aluminum, or for my Brits, aluminium, to natural gas have surged as aftershocks rattle supply chains. Gold could be next, although for very different reasons. That's the view of two of the biggest names in Canadian mining. The former chiefs of Goldcorp Inc., David Garofalo and Rob McEwen, who predict investors will catch on soon that global inflationary pressures are less transitory and more intense than central bankers and consumers' price indexes suggest. When that realization sets in, gold's inflation protection appeal probably will send prices to $3,000 an ounce from about $1,800 now, according to Garofalo, who ran Goldcore before it was gobbled up by Newmont, and now heads Gold Royalty Corp. Such a run-up would be a down payment to McEwen's $5,000 long-term prediction. Now, who knows when that $5,000 prediction will settle? But here's the thing about these guys, just to give you guys a heads up. I do believe some of these companies I do know these companies do solicit investment. So it behooves some of these guys to keep, the positivity in the air. So if you're saying, hey, let's call 3,000, let's call 5,000, let's call 10,000, we might, entice investors. So just keep that in mind. But I personally think gold and silver will run up. I don't know how high it will go. But let's continue here. It comes as little surprise that gold executives have a bullish bullion outlook, but they don't often predict such a steep gain in so short a time. If other metals are any indication, the gold rally, when it comes, will be dramatic, Garofalo said in an interview on Friday alongside McEwen. I'm talking about months. Now, this is kind of where I'm kind of like, a month, we'll see. The reaction tends to be immediate and violent when it does happen, which is true. That's what we saw last year. That's why I'm quite confident that gold will achieve $3,000 an ounce in months, not years. So here's the thing, guys. If we get that, that would be pretty impressive. Now, where would that lead silver if gold hits $3,000 an ounce? Now, I'm only going to adjust the gold price. I'm not going to adjust anything else because that'll be too much speculation here. But we would have to expect that if the gold price is up at $3,000 an ounce, U.S. 10-year Treasury note yield should be way lower. CPI by that point will be higher. And SLD and GLD volumes should be way higher. Dollar futures should be lower. Or they may sit where they are. Bitcoin should be way higher if gold and silver are that high. But again, I'm only going to change the gold price. So when I change this, it might look a little bit less than where we should be. But this is just to give you an idea of what just changing this one input could do. Actually, before I do that, let me move this over so you guys can see how it changes the silver price. So there's 3,000. Let's see how it changes it from where it is today. Oh, hold on. Let me move it over. That's 3,000. So close to about $40. Again, that's one input change. Again, if we have $3,000 gold, I'd imagine we could have around $100,000 Bitcoin. Who knows? But if we have that, then we're closer to around 45. So as you can see, as I'm changing these inputs around, then the outlook looks a bit different. Now, again, this is all based on historical data. So we'll see how things play out. But as far as where we are today, let me bring this back. I think we're closer to 1809 right now. My current forecast is around the mid 20s, so we're around like $26 right now. So do you think gold will be at 3,000? And if it is, do you think it will shoot silver up higher along with it? Let me know what your forecasts and your views are when it comes to the metals. Thanks again for watching. Hit that subscribe button and have a good one.